Hi everyone, I'm Yanni. I'm the local laws officer here at City Casey. Basically, what we enforce is the bylaws, and I'll be talking about a few things today in terms of compliance and what I enforce. So the couple of things I'll be speaking about today will be signage, and where you can put signs if you are displaying for businesses. It's not too in depth, but basically any person that wishes to advertise or display a permit or a sign on any road or council land requires a permit. And a couple of things to keep in mind in relation to that is the sign sort of dimensions and sizes with that. So you can't exceed anything in terms of 90 centimeters in height or 60 centimeters in width with that. It can't be staked into the ground either, and it needs to be held up by its own weight. So you can't be tying to any kind of posts or trees or any other council signs on the nature strip as well. There's only one sign to be permitted at the front of each business, and it should be only at the front of that premise on the nature strip if permitted. You can't be placing more than one sign at either intersections or streets or roundabouts, and it can only be directly at the front of your premise if approved. Like I explained as well. So no roundabouts, no roadways, no traffic islands or garden beds further down the streets or on main streets. If you're in a court at the front of your house, basically that's where it'll be. You can't be putting it at any other locations, and it won't be approved for that matter. The permits are renewed and valid every 12 months. And basically what else is there? Things like seatings and tables will not be permitted out on council land directly at the front of the premise, as it's not considered a trading zone. What else can we talk about? So I know Bill and Glenn touched on it a little bit with heavy vehicles. Heavy vehicles on private property, if it's used for that sort of traveling to and from, and you bring it back to your premise, there is some limitations on what may trigger that. So any vehicle that's greater than 4.5 ton gross vehicle mass or larger than 7.5 meters will trigger a local law permit, and that's all you'll need to apply for to have that availability there to have your vehicle stored on your land. Touching that on as well, if you've got one single crossover or one driveway to your land, that's the only access point to your property that you'll be permitted to use. If you're using or having the nature strip as a secondary crossover, so you're basically having two entries to your land, is not permitted without an asset protection permit to be applied for to allow you to have a secondary access to your property. So if you only have the one concrete driveway that you had when you purchased a property to access your land, that is the only access that you'll be permitted to use for your land. You can have a second one if you wish, and that will be looked into at asset protection, and the permits can be all applied online. And lastly, just touching on the parking situation as well, when Glenn's stated about signs saying no parking on the nature strip. I know some residents do take pride in their nature strips and whatnot, and potentially may put some stakes and signs that would be placed out on nature strip to prevent people from parking there to avoid that issue. That's also not permitted, so you can't be placing any stakes, cones, barriers, or any other items to obstruct or interfere with the council nature strip. If you do have issues with that, there is other avenues to contact council so we can take enforcement action if need be. But yeah, please don't take it into your own hands and put stakes out there to mitigate